Alright, I already filmed this video once. I'm a bit peeved, butthurt, salty, whatever synonym you want to use. I went through the entire editing process, which I thought I did some of my finest work editing, might I add. And then when I went to export it, I accidentally saved it under the same exact file name as the raw footage, which somehow overwrote it. Don't ask me how that works. I'm re-recording this, trying to bring some energy, be fired up, even though I was a bit underwhelmed by this Big Brother premiere. I'd honestly just be whelmed at this point. I shouldn't be under or overwhelmed with. When it comes to the edited show of Big Brother, I should know already that it's terrible, especially when it comes to the premieres. So the whole thing with the live move-ins and stuff, they've done the live move-ins for the past few seasons, where the premiere episode is pretty terrible because it's a live move-in, but, sort of benefit of that is that we get night one feeds. And this year they didn't do a live move-in. They pre-recorded the show, and people on Twitter were trying to be optimistic, like, hey, well, at least we get a good premiere episode. No, we don't get a good premiere episode, you fools. I saw this coming a mile away. We got a terrible premiere episode still, and we don't get night one feeds. We still have to wait till, tonight at midnight. We start out with Julie going through the house like she always does every season. Talks about how there's, 96 cameras and 113 microphones or something like that. And I'm kind of just wondering, it's just a random thought that I had. Is it always the same number of cameras and microphones? Because they mention this at the start of every season, and I've never paid attention close enough to check, and I don't care enough to go back and rewatch all the other premieres. Do they add more cameras and microphones each season, or is it the same amount, or are they just lying to us? What's going on there? I don't know why I really expected there to be anything other than just comps pretty much the whole time after the canned intro packages, but that's what we're dealing with here, folks. The first thing I noticed was when they were doing the intro packages of when everybody gets their keys delivered to them, Joseph was all excited and was like, "Hey, I'm going to Big Brother." And then his dad or somebody, whoever was there with him, was like, "What's that?" Which I thought it was funny that Big Brother left that in. It's like they're throwing shade at themselves, because that's the reaction we all get when we tell people that we like Big Brother, I feel like. After watching this episode, I do feel good about my stand picks from my cast assessment. I picked Chemo and Leah to stan, and I stand by that. I think that they're both great picks. Leah wasn't really in this episode until the last 30 seconds. They showed a preview of the second group that's moving in tonight, Thursday night, and she called herself a chubby chaser, which was hilarious, and I think was a huge confidence boost to all the insecure men out there watching the show. I do want to say about my stand picks that I set this stupid arbitrary rule in that cast assessment where I could only stand two people, and I don't know why I did that. I was this close to standing Rabina, and I'm here to officially throw that out the window. This is the rules I had. Throw it out the window. I throw it out the window. I stand Rabina. I can stand more than two people, because she's iconic, she's amazing, she was probably my favorite person to watch on this episode. So I officially stand Chemo, Leah, Rabina, okay? When we were getting Cam's intro package, he started talking, he was with the football guys, I saw that coming a mile away, but then he started talking about his crystals. And I was like, oh, this is a little interesting side. I didn't expect this from him. Do we have another Caitlyn on our hands? I'm here for it. When Joseph was doing his intro package, officially confirmed for everybody that he does, in fact, work at a video store. He is a video store clerk. He debunked all the conspiracies. And he mentioned that, hey, people think that these are a dying breed here, but sometimes we have up to 15 people in this video store. I'm like, dude, 15 people. Settle down, man. The fire marshal is going to be on your ass if you have that many people. I really liked Chemo's intro package. I thought it was very touching, his whole backstory with his brother getting him into Big Brother, and he unfortunately lost him to cancer. It touched my cold, icy heart, and it makes me want to root for Chemo even more. I think it was his mom or somebody was giving him advice for when moving into the house, and they said, remember, don't share clothes with anybody. Chemo was like, yeah, why would I share clothes with anybody? that made me laugh. For Chelsea, the only thing I wrote down is churchy Chelsea. I already got bad vibes from, some of the problematic stuff that we dug up on her preseason, and the whole, Fred, please don't. Not on camera, please. The churchiness does not give me any better vibes. She was all about the church stuff, and Tucker, people were talking about how Tucker was kind of acting weird in his little intro package, like he was drinking water out of some unknown stream, which, Yeah, it's weird, but like it looked like it was like a glacier, an aquifer or something. So, I think the water was pure and fine. Like it's a little weird, but whatever. The thing that made me raise my eyebrows that I didn't see anybody else bring up was that when he was playing tug of war with his dog, he put the dog toy in his mouth. Like he wasn't just tugging, he was like tugging with his jaw, and it's like, dude, I got dogs here, you can see them behind me. I feel like I'm pretty chill with them, don't have a ton of boundaries, like I let them up on my bed and stuff, but I definitely have never put their toy in my mouth. I'm sure it was like a brand new toy, didn't have like dog saliva and shit on it, but it's still just weird, man. And like fabric of that toy, I can't even imagine putting that in my mouth. It makes my skin crawl like. And it's probably just because I'm like on the spectrum or whatever, but it grosses me out. It was funny when we got to the people on the stage and Julie called the first 4 people to go into the house, and nobody wanted to be the first one to go in the house. Apparently everybody knows about the first in curse now. It's funny because I feel like, I mean, that's been well known amongst like the Big Brother fans and super fans for a long time. I didn't know it was that well known to the casual viewer or player because a lot of these people do not seem like huge Big Brother fans. And the fact that they all know about it, even to the point where Tucker is talking about it in the DR and they're putting it on the show, like it's just funny to me that has become such a big focus now. Assuming Tucker doesn't win this season, what's going to happen like next season? I feel like now that it's been on the actual show, like on the premiere episode, nobody's going to want to be the first in on BB27. Julie's going to have to like bribe people to go in the house or something. Like, hey, you're the first, whoever's in first is the first HOH. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to go in. It's just going to be like the musical chairs of it all, like how it was this episode. But even worse, nobody's going to go in first. It was awesome seeing Angela's enthusiasm both like in her little intro package, but also especially when she got into the house. She got into DR. She was like actually crying. I mean, you love to see somebody with that much passion for the game make it on the show. I do kind of worry for her fitting in the long term here, but I just am going to enjoy her while she's on my screen, I suppose. Mackenzie is tall as shit, man. Like, she seemed tall and athletic and stuff in her preseason interviews and everything, but she's 6'2" and she's wearing those heels. She was like towering over everybody, like, what's up, little man, She doesn't have any love for the short kings out there, and I respect that. She knows her worth. She says, you do you, queen. She says, I need a man that's this tall in stature, and I respect it. She said that none of the other guys were tall enough. I did think, when they were out on the stage, Cam was standing by her, and it looked like Cam was taller than her, even in her heels, so maybe that'll be tall enough for her. Who knows? I could definitely see both of them getting in a showmance, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I really thought this first part of the episode, when they all moved in and everything, was actually really good. But then, of course, all momentum was killed the second Julie says, house guests, go to the backyard, because then we get all these stupid competitions and this AI bullshit that we have to deal with, and it's just, Ainsley, the AI person, was obviously so fake when they got out there. I don't know how obvious it was to the house guests, but to all of us fans on Twitter, we immediately clocked it. Maybe if they didn't hype the whole AI theme of the season coming into it, then we wouldn't have been so keen to it, but to me it was very obvious that she was AI. And then she morphed into this freaky blue AI PS2 ass looking avatar almost. Like, there's no way Big Brother paid full price to have somebody develop this for them, right? Like, I know that their Paramount is dealing with some budget constraints lately. They must have really cut back here in this one. I feel like they had like a high schooler that's just learning CGI come in and do this for them for free, like for a free internship or something. So they all had to vote yes or no if they wanted Ainsley, the AI bot, to come into the house or not. And we all kind of thought coming into this, the hypothesis was that there would be some sort of incentive as to vote yes to bring her in, because why on earth would you vote in a 17th house guest for no reason other than like that's one more person that can take the grand prize from you at the end of the game. And so I thought it would be like, they were going to bribe you like $5,000, $10,000, something like that, or maybe an advantage in the game, but no. It was just, hey, vote yes or no, and obviously you want to vote no, but 4 people ended up voting yes, which is crazy. Angela, Mackenzie, Rabina, and Joseph all voted yes. I guess good for them because it ended up working for them in the long run, because in a shocking twist of events, Big Brother punishes the contestants for making the right choice. I mean, I guess that's Big Brother for you, So they ended up doing a competition where the people that voted yes have an opportunity to get an advantage or a power in the game, and the people that voted no have to play for a punishment. Like, what? I would never do this spinny comp, the one where you vote yes, the power comp. Where you spin around and have to go press the colors afterwards. I'm only 24 years old, and that's just too much spinning for me. I would be puking my guts out. I would just, like, the second I see that chair spins, I would turn around and walk my ass out that door. Props to, like, Angela for actually doing it, because I don't know how the hell somebody her age would do that and not die. Also, for the punishment comp, they had a bunch of, like, snakes and spiders and stuff. Now, maybe I'm just, like, a little snowflake or something, but why do they always have to be bringing stuff like that onto these shows? I feel like, especially snakes, also spiders, very common phobias. Like, my grandma is so afraid of snakes that if she even sees a picture of a snake, she'll start, like, dry heaving and just go into full-on panic attack. And, like, I don't know, they should put some sort of disclaimer on the screen for these people. Maybe I'm just too soft. I know it's very common. Like, Pooya from Rob Has a Podcast doesn't like snakes either. I know it's a common thing. In the end of this episode, Mackenzie ends up winning the power and Chelsea ends up getting the punishment. Honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, I didn't even catch that on my first watch through because I was just, like, half asleep watching these same competitions get played over and over again. I had to rewatch it again to confirm who got the power and who got the punishment. I just don't even care that much because, like, we still don't even know until tonight's episode what that means. And apparently in tonight's episode, the next 8 people that are moving in are going to have to do the same, not the same competitions, but, you know, same thing. Vote for an AI person, do a bunch of competitions for the whole episode. Like, who even cares at this point? The feeds come on at midnight. I'm not even going to make a video about part 2 of the premiere, probably. I'm just going to, no, don't be sat for that. Don't don't hold your breath for this part 2, because I'll probably do, like, a live feed update or something instead.